subscribe to the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Terri Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, this is Dylan Smith. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Amber Colvin. I'd like to thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
You just had to run the bottom. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry I've been away. And this is brought to you by PC Doxers, the Auction Hotspot, and the Stroke Spot Foundation. Dun da da da. Fancy intro now.
And our guest tonight is...
Our guest tonight is the amazing Terri O'Connell. And also I have my good buddy here, Jack, with me. And of course there's Roger, as always. You know I love you, Roger. Had to mess with you a little bit.
You can be kicked to the curb.
I know, but wouldn't you miss me?
I was talking about our guest. We're the host.
Oh,
We're the host.
True. And then we also have, I'm used to somebody calling and then he's already here. We have CJ Faison with
Hey,
us.
CJ, she's blonde, really, okay?
Hey, it's okay. We're always off.
I'm sorry. As I'm used to, like, there being a phone call and I'm like, and our guest today is, and yeah, so I apologize about that. I haven't been on here in a while. Anyway, CJ, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain right now. I'm actually going out to dinner and here in about 45 minutes or so in Birkdale near my house. So looking forward to having a little bit of time off tonight.
No, that's nice.
Where are we going to eat?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Like, Birkdale's kind of like a town inside of a town, as weird as that sounds.
I know, but you know the Stag and Doe is over there and Red Rocks.
Yeah, I've heard of all them places. I'm not sure where I'm going to eat yet, but you know what? You'll have to come with me.
I wish I could, because I like Red Rocks.
I might have to go eat there, and then I'll just send you a picture of the food.
Yeah, okay.
Now that's just torture. That's what that's called. My brother does that all the time. Oh my goodness, I hate it. Anyways, so for some people who are new to the show and haven't heard you before, kind of give us your racing profile, how you got started, and where you are today.
Well, you know, I got started when I was about 4.5 years old in the Pee Wee Go-Kart series. And, you know, a year before I started racing, I told my dad, I was like, hey, I want to start racing, and we would watch NASCAR on TV, and I was always like, I want to be one of those guys on TV racing against the best of the best. And, you know, it kind of got started from there. My dad, you know, he called my bluff and bought me a go-kart. You know, kind of went from there, and we've raced everything, I think, from, you know, the truck series to a go-kart. So, you know, it's really cool to see how my career, you know, progressed with the help of my dad and his family and sponsors. And, you know, everybody's always said, you know, nothing's impossible.
Nope.
That's true. Nothing is impossible. So that's the way I live every day, because I don't ever let, you know, any shadow cast over me or anything. So, you know, I've always kept a bright spirit about, you know, where I want to go in life and what I'm doing and the people I surround myself with. And I think that's where, you know, what helped me get to where I am today. Although it's not, you know, where I want to be exactly, you know, we're getting there. So
That's a great positive attitude. You need to keep that, because anything you put your mind to, you can do. That's a really great attitude to have. Not many people usually have that, so I want you to keep that up, because that's really great. Now, do other people in your family race? Like, did you get inspiration from somebody else in your family that raced, or are you, like, the first one to start that?
I'm really just a second generation, well, actually third generation racer, I guess you'd say. My grandfather, he was a drag racer.
Drag racing.
Yeah, see, I couldn't get into much of that. And my dad, he did the dirt tracks, like the big block modifieds up north. And, I go to the races and watch him, and he was my inspiration right there. And, it's kind of been in my blood ever since I was born because he's been racing for, 20 years before then. So it was really cool. And that's why he's been such a big help, because he's been in the races for so long. And, it's just a family thing now.
All right, that's awesome. Now, I know you had a question because you called before we started the show and you asked him something, and I'm gonna let you ask him that again. You seemed kind of a little shocked with his answer.
Well, CJ, you're not running Langley this weekend in the K&N. You said you were focusing on the trucks. Why are you not being able to do the K&N race this week?
Well, we're more focused on getting my approval on the truck series for the bigger tracks. Obviously we're trying to work a deal next year with a couple of different teams, maybe. We're laying out our options right now, but, the money that we were spending on our K&N efforts, we're going to put that into our truck series efforts to get me approved for, all the tracks all the way up to, the 2.5 miles, Daytona and whatnot. So that's really our goal. And, it sucks because I do love the K&N series. I love the people who race in it, the officials, everybody. But, for my career, it was a hard decision because we were 9th in points. And, it's hard to walk away from, your first full year in K&N. And then, you get an opportunity, like I'm getting now with Bobby Dotter, and it's just unreal. So you kind of have to take advantage of it. And, you got to make sacrifices, and that's one of them I had to make this year. And, I'm probably going to miss a couple more K&N races because of the truck series, but I'll still hit some of the bigger tracks like Dover and New Hampshire and Rockingham for sure.
All right, well, where's your next truck race?
Next truck race is next Thursday, June 27th. That's at Kentucky Motor Speedway. I'll be driving Bobby Dodger's number 81 Toyota Tundra, so I'm pretty excited about that. And, it'll be pretty fun to see. A new track, a little bit bigger than what I've ran on before, so that'll be pretty interesting.
Good luck with that, man.
So is your K&N crew is going to be doing your truck, or is it going to be still Bobby Dotter's people?
I don't all be Bobby Dotter's team. I'm basically showing up with my helmet and driving suit.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Step into the truck and run.
Oh, Rod.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best way.
I'm actually bringing my crew chief, Mark McFarland, with me because, him and I, we've got a good chemistry and good relationship together.
You know something I'm tickled to death about? McFarland finally won a race in the Pro Cup Series last week at Motor Mile. And I'm glad to see that Clay Rogers didn't run the table.
I'm telling you, man, we took the win there, and I've never been so happy in my life. The win slipped away from us there in Kingsport a couple of weeks before that. And, seeing Mark back in Victory Lane was just awesome because I remember going to Old Dominion Speedway back in 2003, and we went over there 3 times, and he won all 3 times we went. And I'm like, good grief, this guy is like the man. And I looked up to him then, and now he's my crew chief, and we won a race together. It was so cool.
So will you be going to Myrtle Beach with him?
Yes, I sure will. Yeah, we actually, I was helping put the motor in Mark's car this morning. Me and Mark were in there, and getting all the final touches put on his car from Myrtle Beach. So I'm excited about that race.
I would be too, because I was tickled to death to see Mark win the race. I mean, I like Clay Rogers. I really do, but I was tired of seeing him win every week.
It's like the Jimmy Johnson thing there for the 5 years. You got tired of seeing him win.
Yeah, but they had 4 Pro Cup races. He done won all 4 of them.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we talked with him about that anyway too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see Mark back up there because I know when I talked with you, I told you that I used to race against him down at Langley, and you were going to utilize his talents when you were going to come. But you're not coming. Oh man!
I know.
You missed out on dinner.
We're gonna miss it, man. I mean, come on.
I was planning to be taking you out to dinner.
Look at that.
Missing dinner in a race, that could get any worse there.
I tell you, it could be even worse if I was the one doing the cooking.
Oh Lord.
Oh, geez, you don't want to see me cook either. Don't worry.
I'm an excellent cook.
Well, I enjoyed the pictures this week of your truck. I like the way your truck looks and everything. I saw that this week. And
we've got a blank scheme on there right now, and sponsorship is always still available on it. But I'm just thankful for the opportunity that Bobby Dotter is giving me. So I mean, it's tremendous for a guy like that to put a rookie in a truck. Second time ever in a truck in Northern Kentucky. So it shows a lot about what he thinks of me, and the team and organization that we're surrounded by is a good one. So I'm excited about it. I really am.
Well, tell us about, now last time I talked to you was the Dover weekend. You were going to run the Dover truck race, and you were going to run the Madhouse on Saturday. And I didn't see what happened on Saturday. So tell us all about what happened that weekend.
Well, Friday was obviously the truck race that I was in. It was my debut. It was at Dover International Speedway, which is right near my hometown, about 30 minutes away from where I grew up from. So I debuted the truck series there. I think we started 29th. 60 laps into the race. Before that, we had a little bit of a communication problem between our radios. We had to come in for a pit stop. We kind of got set behind with that pit stop, so we went all the way back, and then we came all the way back to 24th. And at about lap 64, like I said, we guy behind me got into me, spun me out. Wall, and then collected the inside wall as well. Ended the day short there, but that was a great experience that I will never forget. I definitely got my feet wet in the trucks, and but they knew we were there for the equipment that we were in, and we were fighting as much as we could with it. So after that race, we all loaded up in my dad's motor coach. My dad drove us all through the night to get down to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
We raced at Bowman Gray the next evening, so that didn't go as well as planned either. So it was a rough weekend for sure. We got took out on the first lap at Bowman Gray, and kind of had to fight our way back to the front, and I think we ended up finishing 13th or something like that. And like I said, rough weekend, but you have those in racing and you keep on moving forward. But those weekends right there build character, and also build your team morale up, because it's just one of those deals you grow together as a team, and that's what happened that weekend.
That has to be a tough place to race after you race at Dover the day before, to come back to that little track at Bowman Gray, and I know they tore up some stuff down there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you what, it was crazy coming from the high banks of Dover. Where you're flat out every lap as hard as you can drive, to going the next day within 12 hours of having to back up the corner like 4 or 5 car lengths before you think you should lift. Just total opposite. So it was a little bit of an adjustment at first, but you know what? I got used to it, and that's one of those character building races as well. Having to switch from high banked oval to a flat track the next day. So it was fun though for sure. Yeah.
And then it's on to Kentucky, another big track. So another learning curve.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what this year seems to be like. We've had a lot of good luck, but yet bad luck at the same time, if that makes any sense. We've had really fast race cars. We just haven't been able to have the luck on our side to, show our performance. So, I mean, like Bristol, we were first fastest in practice all day long. Qualifying run, I did a horrible job on that. And then we came back to finish 5th. And then the rest of the season so far just seems like we ran into bad luck here and there. And I think Kentucky's our turnaround. I really do. I feel like that's going to be a good place for me to, like you all said, it's another learning curve, and it's just build more character. So I'm looking forward to that.
Now, I was just looking at now before you go and everything. I have to ask this one question. I ask it to every driver. What is your most embarrassing moment that you've had, like in your racing career? And don't be shy. You've heard some pretty interesting stories. Trust me.
Probably the most embarrassing story ever would probably be. Well, I've got 2 of them. You mind if I share both?
Oh, go ahead, please. Make my night.
These are tiebreakers here.
Oh boy.
My dad used to own a dirt track up in Delaware, and I raced at it for about 2 years while he was managing and owning it. He was really harsh on me, and I didn't do much at all. I went into the corner, and I just bumped the kid right in front of me and moved him up out of the way. Just a fly job, normal dirt racing. And caution comes out, and I'm like, what in the world happened? I know I didn't take him out. Black flag comes out, and they send me to the back. And after the race, I asked my dad what happened, and he said, I black flagged you because you touched that kid. I said, Dad, I just, did a fly job on him, and that's it. And I said, did they spin out? And he said, no. And he just wanted to keep the, the playing field fair for everybody, and that was pretty embarrassing for my dad to black flag me, and I was like 12 years old at the time.
Oh.
I saw that one coming.
Oh, he was laughing over here the whole time you're telling the story. He's like holding in his laugh.
That's when you have. That's the problems you have when you have your family-owned racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. So he was, so much harder on me than he was everybody else. But looking back at it now, I do appreciate that because from that point on, I never touched another car.
Builds character too.
All right, so your next one. I gotta hear this.
Like, we were Old Dominion, and this was, I think, in 2010, and it was one of my first late model races. We were coming to, we were on a restart, and I was probably in about 14th or 15th, and my dad, he was spotting for me, and he usually says, we're getting ready to go green, we're getting ready to go, and then he says, green, 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 and then I hear the mic click. Well, when I hear the mic click, that automatically means in my head, drop the hammer and go. Well, my radio, the cable that runs from the radio to my helmet, it came unplugged as soon as he said, get ready to go green, click. Well, I dropped the hammer, I dropped to the inside. I didn't know you couldn't pass on the inside. I passed about 10 cars. I went from about, 15th or 15th all the way up to 5th. And I'm like, good grief, we're going to have a heck of a shot to win this race right now. And come to find out, the radio came unplugged, and I'm yelling at him on the radio, he's yelling at me, and neither of us could hear each other, and it was pretty embarrassing, so they called me to the NASCAR Hall after that.
No. Oh, gosh. Those are good stories. Those are good ones.
Well, yeah, explaining that story to, the NASCAR officials, they're like, yeah, and it was like one of the first times I've been on asphalt, so...
Oh, gosh.
Was Mark racing in that race, too?
No, he wasn't actually. This was back in 2010. He wasn't there at that time. I think he was crew chief for a K&A car.
Oh, okay. Well, let me let you go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and give a quick rundown of your sponsors so you can thank them. They always like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I just got to thank Delaware Auto Exchange and Bobby Dodder Racing now. They've come on board. Sherwin-Williams Paint. They've helped support us a little bit this year, and we don't have a lot of supporters this year, but, we're still digging through the season, and, I thank everybody for their help here and there. We have Vincent Farms, Bruce Betts Construction, all the local people that support me as well, and all the fans out there that make it possible for us to go around in a circle each and every weekend. If it wasn't for the diehard fans, I wouldn't be talking on this radio station right now, and I sure wouldn't be racing.
All righty.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We hope to have you again.
Really,
Yes.
I enjoy him. But CJ, talking about food, you've seen how big my belly is, so you know something good's going in there.
Well, I'm pulling into Burkdale right now. I don't know where you are. I'm looking for your card.
I wish I was there.
Well,
Send me a picture.
there you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead and have fun, and I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, sounds great. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
Thanks,
CJ.
CJ.
Welcome back. You handle that. All right, so that was fun.
He's
I like him.
Nice young kid. It's nice that they're giving him that chance.
I know. A really good shot for him to prove himself.
I feel like he'll do well.
All right, let's do this real quick.
But we're calling her.
Yeah, that's what we called when we got ready for her.
Well, next person we're going to call is Nicole Addison, and she's a first female pit crew member. So this is me really cool to talk to her and see.
The number you have dialed is not in service. Please check the number and try your call again.
Well,
maybe not, but hopefully we can get her on here.
704.
We do have
791.
Terri O'Connell I could ask a couple questions about what she's
599.
been doing lately. Her latest and greatest.
Staying up late.
You might want to text her.
I'm going to text her.
Okay.
Well, improvise as always. So, this is fun. Technical difficulties. Well.
It's okay.
It's all right. It happens. It's what keeps this interesting because things can happen that you don't think would happen. Really, Raj? I mean, I know you're good with technology. Just because you touch it doesn't mean it's magically going to happen.
Oh, hush.
I'm just saying. No, whoa. That is
All
not
right,
cool.
I'll ask Terry a question.
All right.
So what do you think about this Jason Leftwich thing? I was really upset about it.
Yeah,
I've met him several times.
Yeah, me too. I actually raced with him a little bit. It was really a fluke deal to start with. The way it happened, it was just kind of a collection of bad things happening all at one time. And you're going. People don't really realize it. You're going really, really fast in those puppies. You're humming, and
he was running a 410 that night.
He's running a 410, so you're running
1,000 horsepower. That sucker.
Easily.
That's the number she gave me: 704-791-5909.
I don't know if she wants that on the air or not. That's why I was trying to show you this.
Wow!
Oh, well, she'll change it now.
Bravo!
We had another Kenny Wallace and Michael Waltrip deal.
So when she watches this later, she knows who to yell at when she gets random phone calls from people. So much for trying to keep that quiet.
They were saying today, and you know more about it than I do about the sprint cars, that what got him, and nobody's, this is not official, nobody's come out and said anything, was the slamming the head this way, and there was nothing here.
It's kind of odd too, because I was looking. We have the containment seats in them. So it's kind of odd with that. But it doesn't matter if your head hits the fence.
Hello.
Oh, here we go.
Nicole, is that you?
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. We're so glad we're finally able to get a hold of you. How are you doing tonight? Hello.
Still there?
Okay,
Can you hear us? Or are you having? Is it a hard time hearing us?
I think so.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Good, bad, no, maybe, possibly. Well,
I think the connection.
Third time's a charm. So
Did
third.
we have this problem last week? Last time I was here.
Well, he can't blame me. I'm not touching the phone, which is why I'm letting him deal with it. He can blame himself. Hello?
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Yay!
Good.
Told you, third time's a
Can you hear me
charm.
now? Can you hear me now?
Now, good. Like I was saying earlier, how are you doing tonight, Nicole?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're so glad to have you on the show.
I appreciate it.
So I hear that you're a female pit crew member. Former female pit crew member. I'm sorry, you guys didn't tell me much about it. Oh, wow, really? That's a shame. Sorry. Lord, I mean, told all this information at once. You mind telling us a little bit about that? Like, what inspired you to try to be a pit crew member? And what really inspired you, like, got you into racing to make you want to do this?
Well, I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I'm currently living. I just recently moved back in December. And my dad has always been a fan of racing, and I would just kind of, watch races with him and everything else. And his company actually ended up sponsoring just a local driver out here at Tucson Raceway Park. And I would just go with my dad throughout the week to the guy's house just to help him out, hand tools, and I just kind of got really interested in it all. And a few years later, then my dad bought a modified himself and started racing, and that's really involved with helping him out, and I was his spotter during the race and just helped him out constantly. It was just, a passion I had, and all through high school, first people asked what you want to do, and I was like, I want to do something with racing. I don't know what.
I think it's awesome that you done that. And did you ever race? And if you do race, do you still do it today? And was your dad one of the first people to race in your family? Or has it been like a tradition with your family with racing?
My dad was just kind of like the one and only in the family. My brother was always kind of interested in it too, but he was in the Marine Corps, so he wasn't around when, like, my dad bought his car and everything.
but yeah, I just got involved in it, and I was actually at a race in Phoenix with my dad, and there was, just we were down in the pit, and I wish I would have gotten the guy's name to thank him, but, we were talking, and he was like, well, what part of racing do you want to get involved in, the pit crew side of things, or like the, marketing? And I'm like, definitely the pit crew side of everything. And he suggested that I go to Mooresville, North Carolina, and there was a school 5-off 5 on there. So I made the move, pursued that, and it all just worked out from there.
Nicole, this is Jack. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good.
You got a bunch of us in the background here, so
Yeah, there's like 4 of us here.
You're getting handed off from one to the other.
Okay.
My question to you, and this is the reason why I've been trying to get you on the show. With all the publicity that Christmas Abbott has been getting, and I'm not taking anything away from Christmas Abbott. I think I've met her, I've talked to her. She's a nice person, and she's good at what she does. But I knew there was so much hype about her being the first pit crew member, and I knew you were the one. You were first. You were one of the first. How do you feel about that? I mean,
Yeah, the whole thing with me, with that whole situation, well, it was brought to my attention back in December when I was living in North Carolina still, and one of my old neighbors gave me this newspaper article, and there was this whole article about her, she's saying she wants to become the first and all. And my neighbor was really upset about it, saying, she knew what I had done and everything. And I kind of shrugged it off at first, but then the more I sat there during the day, I'm like, I'm not going to let someone take credit for something when it's already been done. And, so I just emailed the writer of the article, and I never heard anything back. But I was just trying to kind of clear the air out, clear the air, just give them the facts and say you were just kind of, wrong in what you had said. And then from there on, just I had friends calling me and everything, saying kind of concerns that I was having. The whole thing is, I did it said anything. I did it because I had a passion for racing, and I just happened to be a girl doing a more male-dominated golf. I never looked for any kind of attention, and at the track when there were reporters coming up or, people wanting to do an interview, I'd actually be really, embarrassed, with all these guys that are busting their butts doing the exact same thing as me. I just happen to have some different body parts from them doing it.
I was, I know, I don't know what, all your history as far as when you were doing pit crew. I know you were on, wasn't you on Brendan Gaughan's pit crew at one time?
Yeah.
Okay. It just, to me, I'm not a sexist by any choice or anything like that, but it just irritated me to begin with when I heard her say that. Of course, now she's saying you are. I mean, she's letting it be known that you are the first, but I wanted to make, I wanted to get you out there to say, hey, it was me.
Well, thank you. And even prior to me, there was, I believe it was actually Wendy Venturini's mom that went over the wall in like the 80s.
Well, yeah, they had an all-girl pit crew in the ARCA cars.
So, and like for Shara Robinson too. Mm-hmm. So I can't even say technically, that I was the first. Yes, I did it in all 3 series, and but it just seems that sometimes it got first. Said this Christmas that she was going to be the first female in, to go over the wall. And then it got changed to the first female in Cup. And then it was first full-time female in Cup. So like you said, I have nothing but, good wishes for her. And I hope she does, pursue her dream and do what she wants to do. But I feel bad for, just other girls that work kind of humbly in the spotlight and don't get the light shined on them all the time too.
I agree with you because it takes a lot to get to that point, and I think you should be given the credit for what it is that you do.
And just along with every other guy that goes over the wall, we all paid our dues. I was just talking to someone about it the other day, how one of my friends had to change on one of the cut scenes. Him and I, like way back in the day, we drove clear from, Charlotte, Mansfield to pit a Hooters car for a night, and we did the Hooters race, and then we drove back, you know, almost falling asleep at the wheel because we couldn't, like, afford a hotel room to stop and stay at, you know, but it was for, you know, $100. And, you know, we drove to Chicago, we would drive to New York. It was just all these places just to get experience and just to, you know, work your way up from the bottom to hopefully one day getting the chance to, you know, make it into something a little bit more stable.
Mm-hmm.
So you did a Hooters Cup car at one time. Who was that with?
In the 80s?
It was for, I think it was Clay Rogers.
Clay Rogers. Okay.
Another one of our buddies.
You guys know everybody, okay? Let's just put that out there.
So what are you doing now, Nicole?
So I'm living back in Tucson. I decided to come back this way. I have good family and friends here, and I'm now a dental hygienist.
Oh, wow.
Very good, very good.
Awesome.
Different type of pit crew member.
Yeah?
A little smaller area to work in.
Raj, oh my goodness.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out to call or for us to be able to talk to you. And I wanted to get your name out there to let it be known that you were one of the first.
Because you deserve this. You put your heart and soul to go after what you wanted, and I give you so much credit for this, showing that, you know, we can also do this too. It's not just a man thing, and it takes a lot of bravery for somebody to step up into a so-called manly role. So, power to you for that, and that's awesome that you've done this.
Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, like I've always said, you know, just have no regrets in life. Go out, do what you want to do, and hey, if it doesn't happen, you know, it doesn't happen, but at least you tried.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that one.
There you go.
Well, we appreciate it, Nicole, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, the conversation came up one time before, and I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I had an opportunity to talk with you about it.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you a lot, and we'll be talking to you again.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
You too. Happy to have you on the show soon.
Bye.
Bye.
I like her a lot. She's awesome.
Okay.
All right. Why are you looking at me? I can't work this phone.
You ready for Mark?
Go ahead.
Oh, boy. Why are we saying that? Oh, goodness.
He's over there trying to drown in his Coke.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
What are you gonna have a Coke for a sponsor now? We're gonna have everybody drinking Coke.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, how you doing tonight? We got Mark Watson on the line.
Woohoo!
Doing pretty good, Roger. How you doing?
All right, Mark Watkins. He owns the Big Fan Racing. Why don't you give everybody a quick scoop on that, and while you're at it, give them a little more background about yourself.
Okay. I live in South Carolina in the upstate, so we're right here around the racing, and grew up with a lot of NASCAR people. We started Big Fan Racing, and my son was in high school. He really wanted to find a way to race, and his cousin is Jason Keller.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had followed Jason, you know, for years. So in 2001, actually around 2000, I just had an idea come into my head that maybe people would like to help build a real race car, you know. And the internet was kind of young, and he was young, and so we put together a little thing. It actually took us about a year to get it going. But once it started, it really took off, and we sold what we called honorary ownership dollars. And in 3 weeks, we bought the first Bush car. And that was kind of history. We went on and actually raced some of the races and for the next couple of years. And it was pretty exciting.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Now, you have restarted this back up again, correct?
That's correct. In 2001, actually, the first race we made was at Bristol. And later, or 2.5 weeks, was when 9/11 happened.
Oh, gosh.
Of course, the sponsorships, we were actually probably the smallest team out there in the Bush Series at that time. And we were fighting everybody for what little sponsorship we get, and a lot of it just dried. We did come back in 2002, did a race for America's Most Wanted with John Walsh, and with just the finances, and I decided to close the team. I had actually started it to get Josh racing, but he was young at the time and got a chance to drive for him. So here, 11 years later, and he's driven some late models and different things down here at the Speedway, and I just decided this was the time to go ahead and start it back up, give it a last shot, you know.
Now, what really inspired you and got you into racing? Like, was it always a family thing? Did anybody in your family race? Have you ever raced before?
No, I never did a race. I guess a lot of it just came from being a fan of Jason Keller.
Yeah.
I worked with his father in the chemical industry back then.
Oh, wow.
And the race car shop was right beside the chemical plant. So, yeah, I got to know all the guys like Steve Addington, who's Tony Stewart's crew chief now, and a lot of the guys, we just played golf together and everything, and I just got to thinking, I believe I could own one of these bush cars if I could just figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And, it just, I really have no clue how that popped into my head. I was looking at eBay, and I had sold stuff on there, and I guess that kind of motivated me. I got to thinking, well, if we're paying $100 or $200 for a die cast, back then they were. And I thought maybe they'd chip in $100 for a real car.
There you go.
Yep.
So that was my motivation. And the first night we put it on eBay, I literally just took $100 and bought some ads. And the first night, 3 people joined.
Wow.
And I was like, well, this is kind of weird, but I'm gonna hold everybody's money till we can buy a car, and we'll see what happens. Well, it just the floodgates kind of opened, and 3 weeks later we bought the first bush car.
Wow.
Cool.
That's awesome.
It just went on from there, and my motivation was that I really was a fan of racing, and I was trying to get my son started some way or another, and our goal was to eventually let him drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you still doing a nationwide car, or did I see somewhere where you're trying to do a truck?
Now, what we're doing now, talked to Brett Bodine about getting Josh started in nationwide, and he really wanted him to start at a lower level, and he said if we could get going in some trucks or some of the K&N series or something like that, that would be, for his progress up the ladder. So
Yeah.
we ruled out nationwide right then after Brett told me that. So we thought, well, if we can go ahead and build our own trucks, we thought about just going back to the same model that we had before with Big Fan Racing. And we do have that same $100 honorary ownership. But we've added a few things to it. We're going to be out at some of the tracks coming up on the schedule and talking to people. We have a little a deal where you can pay $15 and get a sponsorship of the truck. And one thing that we've started is a driver develop program.
Right.
We're looking across the nation to try to find a driver to be Joshua's teammate. And the way we're doing this is having a competition. And that competition is not to judge anybody, and it's on-track competition, but it's one of the things that drivers face if they're serious, and that's one of sponsorship. Mm-hmm. With this competition, these drivers are finding actually memberships for Big Fan Racing, translates into sponsorships for them. And at the end of the year, the winner is we're going to put him in a second truck with Josh.
Cool.
That's cool. Because you always try to win stuff.
So,
like
are
that.
you building you're building your own trucks? Are you building your own engines and everything? Are you leasing engines or what?
Well, we haven't put it on the engine program yet. There's a good possibility that we will lease, and of course that'll all come with sponsorship and finances, down the road. We did have motors with our Bush car, but we also leased some back in too. So both programs work, and incorporate both of them at some time.
Do you have a time frame for when you're trying to get all this put together?
We're planning on being at Daytona in February. So we're working hard all the way through the end of this year to get everything in place and get it built. And even if we have trucks and give it a shot, that's where we'll be.
Well, now has your son done anything as far as trying to get approved to run Daytona or anything like that so far?
Well, get approved for ARCA. He had a really test session down there,
mm-hmm.
and so he has been on the track and at high speeds. I think it's right around 170 miles per hour. So he was approved for ARCA, and we'll probably go maybe part of the route as far as going with Arca and letting him again, and hopefully he'll get to run a few races before the end of this year with him in the truck.
Okay.
What? Well,
It is, you know, it is a with NASCAR to get out there and run Daytona. We realize, you know, the steps we have to get through before that can happen.
Yeah, they want you to try to run everything because they just want to try to make sure that you're safe enough that you get out there, nobody gets hurt. You know, because there's so many times you hear somebody yelling, "That damn rookie done caused me to crash my car," or whatever, you know.
one thing
Right,
goes up
yeah.
to.
We hopefully will get races before the end of, and the hospital will set up where he can run the race down there that they call prior to the truck race.
Cool.
Wish you luck with that.
And of course they'll be test. You know, they'll bring the truck and test. Hopefully in on that, and you know, NASCAR has different criteria. And one of them is actually watching you run. So there's a lot of them actually approving the driver to do that. I know, you know, Daytona's place that they're going to make sure that you can handle everything.
Yeah.
And it comes to the point where we only maybe run in the ARCA race, wait until the next race, you know, and all that is NASCAR, and think of Josh's abilities.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we wish you good luck on all of your endeavors on this because it sounds like you're, like you said, trying not to actually reinvent the wheel. You just want to reactivate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. We're deactivating, and there was no such thing as YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and you know, had a little simple site that I built with front page. Technology has come quite a long way as far as people.
Oh yeah.
We hope that will help our cause. Also, during this, we're set up at BigFan.tv. Try to do all this in a reality format.
Cool.
All right.
Hopefully you got somebody doing a lot of videoing then.
Yeah, we're looking for some creators to follow us around and do some stuff. And so now getting that part of it, and we want to show fans how you take team completely from the
Are you in a bad area because your phone has started kicking in and out on us here?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I live way out in the country in South Carolina.
Go to the nearest tree and climb up a few feet.
And then we'll hear you early.
What part of South Carolina are you in?
I'm in the upstate part near Pickens.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And I actually live out in the farming area. We have a farm out here, and they didn't provide us with that many towers in this area.
Yeah. Well, we're hearing them pretty good then in that consideration.
If it works, it works.
Yep, that's for sure.
Well, we're going to go ahead and let you go, and appreciate you being on the show with us. And it's nice to see somebody trying to get out there and make something work like you're doing.
Yep.
Well, I thank you for asking me to come on, and I really appreciate it.
All righty. Have a good night, and we will talk to you again, hopefully.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we could hear him pretty good since he lives out there, considering.
Yeah.
So I was like leaning forward. I'm like. So next, guess who we have?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of him now to see when.
Oh,
He's probably out eating too.
Well,
I know he's out celebrating.
Oh, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I told you about the time Kenny Wallace was supposed to be calling in, and he was, I think it was either Detroit or Chicago he was up in, and he was eating Chinese food with some friends that at the last minute came and they all decided to go out to eat, and he forgot all about the show.
Oh.
So all of a sudden he's like 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. Finally, all of a sudden he calls up. He said, "Oh, he's apologizing all over the place," and because he said we went in and decided to start eating, and I forgot all about his food. He left his food in there, and he came out, and he probably he went at it for almost 30 minutes.
He can talk too.
Oh God, yeah, he's great. He is great.
So he's one of the people we call when everybody we were going to have on the show don't show up on the show. They're one of those people that we can let talk and tell stories? Is he one of those people on the list?
Yeah, he's not always that easy to get on the phone, though.
Yeah,
and what was funny, remember when Michael Waltrip showed everybody his phone number?
Yep.
He still had it.
Oh, God.
He never changed it.
Wow.
What? Wow, brave.
Now you've told it again, so.
So now everybody who knows about her still has it.
But now they have to actually go back and find the footage now of that.
That's true.
I mean, it may not be that hard to just.
Internet, you know.
I ain't worried about it. I've got his number, so I don't have to go look it up.
Would you like to announce another number on the air?
Krystal's number.
No! Dad will kill you if you do. Dad will kill you. No.
I can run faster than he can.
Well,
are you sure with that one? Depending on how mad Dad is, he probably could catch up.
I don't know where he's at.
If not, Krystal catch you. Nah, yeah, tell that one to him.
He's out in Hawaii, isn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, why didn't you take a trip to Hawaii instead of?
Well, I did this with my youth group. Okay, I fundraised money through my church so I could go to Phoenix. My mom says that for my senior year to celebrate, we're gonna go down to see my brother in Hawaii, which is, I feel like it's for the whole family because she really wants to go too. I guess she's just using that as the excuse. But I'm excited because I've never been and I've always wanted to go.
Are we supposed to call him or?
No, he's supposed to call us. And knowing him, he's probably done got eaten or something and done forgot. And I done sent him 2 messages, so I don't know.
Why would just call him?
What you do is you call and you call and you call
Your
and he
dad.
goes, "Why is
you're
my
allowed
phone
to. Your
number?"
dad, remember?
So he can't ignore Dad, but so long, right?
I don't know. He can ignore me really good.
Well, this is where I get out of that one now.
And if he's watching, I ain't gonna say that.
Uh-oh. So we'll cover the mic real quick.
No, but I'm.
We won't tell anybody.
We won't tell anybody.
Hopefully he'll call in just a few minutes. But he got some good news, and I'm very proud of the fact that he has been reinstated by NASCAR.
Especially with who he's with. That's really awesome for him, and I can't wait to congratulate him. But he's not calling.
But he went through the whole procedure as it was stated by NASCAR. NASCAR could have made him go through 16 weeks, but the minimum was 8 weeks. But he somehow or other, because of the situation and how it was handled and what he did and how he was honest about the whole thing.
Well, the doctors probably helped too. And
Yeah,
they said, he could have. He was.
The
doctors take it. We just didn't give him the prescription for it.
The doctors spoke up for him. Michael
That's
Waltrip
good.
Racing spoke up for him.
Oh,
Everybody
great.
spoke up for him, and so NASCAR and
in their infinite wisdom
decided that they would go 2 weeks, go through 5 sessions or whatever they call it, and he got reinstated. He got reinstated, and it was the quickest one has ever been reinstated by NASCAR.
Well, he's a really good kid. I was so shocked when I was told the news. I was like, "You're kidding me!" I felt so bad for him.
Well, a lot of people got upset and made a lot of comments. I got them.
I know you did.
And I kept my cool and kept my mouth shut.
And the biggest thing was that nobody knew, other than just a few small people, knew exactly what really actually happened.
That's right. And you're taking a look at everything that's happening with NASCAR right now and all.
Yeah.
And let me say this first. And he's not here, and I hope he calls in a minute or two.
Oh yeah.
But I agree with NASCAR's policies. I agree with what they did. I understand what they did. It's a matter of protecting
their rules,
the people, protecting their drivers, protecting their crews. But NASCAR puts them out there and says he's suspended, he's fired, he's done this, he's done that, but nothing's ever said what actually transpired.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you what transpired, and whether the people like it or not, I don't really care.
See, we don't have to call. He'll tell the story. So if he doesn't call,
well, I know he may not go into all this.
Yeah.
He may not go into all this because he's trying to avoid it as much as he can.
Well, then there's bold.
But he told me, he said, "Look, I want everybody to know I'm back. I did what I had to do, and I'm back. I am not." And as he said, I'm not a drug addict, as they were saying. They were, people were making comments. He ought to be done. They ought to do this to him. They ought to do that to him because he's a drug addict. Well, he's not a drug addict.
Not, no.
What happened was he had mouth surgery on a Tuesday before Talladega. He went to Talladega. He was hurting real bad. He took something that he should not have taken. It was an unprescribed medication, not a drug of cocaine or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It was an unprescribed. And his words to me were, I was hurting so bad. I had to get through that day, and I didn't think.
And a Tylenol 3 would have popped.
Yeah.
On their drug.
So he didn't think, and I agree with what they did. I agree with the whole pile. I agree with everything. But I'm wishing NASCAR would come back now that he's been reinstated.
Mm-hmm.
Say, look, he's back. And it's not.
And look who
you
was
had
back
You had a guy suspended today.
Yep, there was another guy today.
From Nationwide, Ryan Hess.
Oh,
this is his second. And I'll call his name out because I know him. It's his second one.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to get caught twice,
it's going to be a longer period.
So, yeah, I'm a little bit outspoken about it. I kept my cool all this time.
He's finally letting it out, ladies and gentlemen.
I kept my cool all this time.
Stuff going to be working afterwards?
Well,
and
also, now you get to announce it on here.
Do you remember when people were getting drug tested and you could test positive if you had poppy seed bread?
Right.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
That's right.
And stuff like that, as stupid as that was, you could get basically a false positive.
Well, it's like he told me. He said, when they touch me on my shoulder, that's what they do. They go around, they touch you on your shoulder. When they touch you on your shoulder, you know that you got to go to the infield care center and do a drug test. He knew when they touched him on the shoulder.
He was.
Wait a minute! I took something I wasn't supposed to.
Raj, really?
But the thing about it is, he let them know. He told them, but because it was an unprescribed drug, NASCAR had and there's zero tolerance.
It's one of those days like, really, my day.
It's a zero tolerance. I agree with it, and I respect it. I just wish NASCAR would come back and say.
But the thing is like he was open about
give the background behind it. What happened.
It's like he told them that was going to happen, and yet, like you said, they still really did that. So it's kind of like
How do you know? How do you know what he told is the truth? And I understand that.
That's the thing.
That. So, I mean, you're going to hear of them guys, if they get busted, first thing they're going to say is, I didn't do this.
They're going to make up a story. They're going to stick to it.
Wanted for breakfast.
But then when you have your doctors, when you have your doctors come in, and they're saying, look, yeah, he did this, whatever, but it still boils down to the point. He did not have a prescription for it.
And not to say anything bad about Lee, because I think Lee is a really nice guy.
He's really, really nice.
If
He's awesome.
this had been out in the real world, the police could have arrested him for taking somebody else's prescribed medicine.
And I worked in the Department of Corrections for 30 years. Took drug tests on a regular basis. I've seen good people walk through that door that I work with that they turned right around and handcuffs and took them out. So I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it, and I don't disagree with it, but I just wish NASCAR would put as much emphasis on telling people we suspended him and he's gone,
right?
And say he's back. Look, and he's back in 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks of the
2 weeks, and he's in Jeff Gordon's pit crew, and
he got hired.
Awesome. I give
since
him.
He didn't call, and I've done called.
Whenever he sees this, I want to tell him congratulations, because this is awesome
I just tried
for
to call
you.
him a minute ago.
Because that's really great for him to go to where he did to a pit crew like that.
He had gotten to the point where he told me, he said, "Look, I'm going to find me a job somewhere." And he was about to go back to work somewhere he was working before that he really didn't want to go back to because he figured he'd moved along. And that's cool,
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't know why I was asking for it from you. I forgot I had it.
Wow, Raj. But this is really great for him. And he's, like you said, he's celebrating, and he should, because he went through this. He corrected that, what he should have second thought, and now look where he's at. He's at a spot, where he wanted to be. He's back to doing what he loves to do. And he overcame it, and like you said, they're not going to say it, but we're going to say it. Congratulations, you're back. You did what you had to do, and you're back doing what you love, and that is great for him.
His number one thing was, I want everybody to know I'm back, and I'm back faster than anybody else.
He made a record.
I'm back, and I'm going back to a winning team.
Which is great. I can't wait to actually see him the next time I go to the race and tell him Pat's on it,
But I totally respect, Michael Waltrip Racing has a policy.
Yeah.
I respect that fact that they did their policy, and they couldn't bring him back until the end of the year, so that basically they lost him to Hendrick Motorsports, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I've seen a maturity level in him since this all took place that I didn't see before. So I'm proud of him. I want him to know I'm proud of him. And I'm glad everything is taken care of now. We can get back to normal. Because it hasn't been normal.
For 2 weeks it ain't.
Well, it's been longer than 2 weeks, but he's been under the NASCAR thing for 2 weeks.
Yeah, under the thumb. When Raj told me, I was in complete shock. I was like, I was kind of said, come again? What happened? I was just so blown. I was like, there's no way. And then when he told me all the stuff, like you said, it's precaution. But it's really, because I know him, and he's a good guy. He's a nice kid, great person. He's dedicated to what he does, and I was just almost in shock. And I'm so glad he's back. As soon as I saw that on there and saw where he was at, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Well, I received a whole lot of grief from people that I don't even know.
Nah.
And I'm not going to call names, but
that's when you cough and say it.
There's a couple people that are in the business that called me and made some very disparaging remarks.
People.
And I just, I kept my cool.
Good.
I didn't say anything.
Kudos to you.
Because he wanted me to say, look, I don't want this out.
They don't want it to blow it up any bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
And, but now that it's all taken care of, he said, I want everybody to know I'm back. He's back.
He's back.
And thank you for letting me rant and rave. But
that's what this show is for. It's all right.
We can do some rant and rave, and I'm going to tell you.
Is it Roger's turn now?
And stuff like that.
Oh God, no! Let's not start that. Oh Lord.
The government, they screw you as much as they can.
Oh,
it's NASCAR.
Everybody's going to ask any Native American about the government screwing people now. Ask any Native American. I'm mad about it, and my ancestors went through it. I didn't even go through it. The most ever screwed people in race from the government is Native Americans, and I will say it, and I don't care what anybody thinks, because it's the truth.
This ain't a political
Open
thing.
your history books.
I'm mad at NASCAR.
Before I go on more, before you go on more.
You got any racing Indians we know about?
Well, I like racing. I'm an Indian. I mean, I don't race, but I love it.
What percentage Indian are you?
I'm I don't know, 80 actually. Found out. I'm around 80%. It says on my travel card. My Uncle Bill looked up our history and everything about that. So
80%.
I know, it's weird.
Your dad's not full.
Grandpa is. And Mom's got some Cherokee in her.
Well, I know we got some on our side, yeah. I don't know how much.
Mom had a lot from her daddy. So.
I
mean, do you see me right now? Did you see how round I am? I mean, it's weird how.
Half my book's about that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh no! Really? Whatever am I gonna do? You know I love you. We're family. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Oh well, I'm sorry he didn't call. I guess he's out having a good time and forgot what he was supposed to be doing.
Well, what you do is you call him really early the next morning and said, "What? Did you forget something?"
I'm not gonna mess with him. I'm gonna let him have his fun while he can.
Congratulations to him. He's a sixth man for his pit crew, and that is great. I'm so glad he got that opportunity to be rehired and everything and get back, make a record for the quickest person ever back. That's really good. And like you said, it was something for him to bring out that maturity for you to see.
And I want to say one thing, and he probably will never ever see this, but AJ Allmendinger made a special call to him and talked with him and told him everything what was going on, and I really that really helped him out because he knew what was going on before it happened. I mean, before he had to go through it.
Sure.
And it was great that it was right before the Indianapolis race, and AJ was in there he made the call then. So
That was good. That probably lifted his
Because
spirits.
AJ's situation was very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like AJ told him. He said, "Look, they were going to make a point out of me because I'm a driver. They were going to make that point with me. You're not a driver, and the situation is basically the same, but I'm in a little different situation than you are."
He's much more in the spotlight than, of course,
Yeah.
he is.
I mean, you're still going to be in the spotlight, like you said. Like, that's more of a thing because he's a driver, this person that everybody sees, and it's like, oh, one of those things.
Say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so.
So I think now we need to move to the next big thing going on in NASCAR. Is Mike Harmon and Jennifer Jo Cobb. And
I haven't heard anything
Who's
more
going to be
about
paroled out long enough to go racing?
Now,
Who's in jail?
Oh, look at him.
Mike Harmon turned himself in yesterday.
Okay.
Now I don't know if I haven't seen where the bail or whatever, but they found 5 cars, they found 5 vehicles and all kinds of stuff, but they still have not found the truck.
Oh, I thought they did find the truck.
No, he knows where it's at. He let them know he knows where it's at, and he would turn it over if they didn't give it back to Jennifer Jo Cobb.
Real wow.
If I
guess
remember
what?
correctly, Jennifer got.
They're getting ready to twist on. They're getting to twist on him a little bit. The truck will be returned. You can guarantee.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to get back soon. I mean,
This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is juicy.
But if I remember correctly, Jennifer, the truck belonged to her boyfriend.
Exactly right.
And they had a split up, but she actually got the truck for X amount of time through the court
Right.
from her boyfriend, correct?
Something like that. I don't know exactly how it was
And
broke
so,
down.
now my question is, why is Mike Harmon stealing something he doesn't even have ownership to
Because
unless he's trying to get something
Exactly.
for money she owes him?
Because him and Novak are now tied together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Novak is trying to help him with his racing now,
Oh, man.
and he's trying to get all that stuff moved over to him so he would have the equipment.
Well, he
'Cause
still
he-
has to legally wait till the other thing is done.
This is interesting being in the middle of this.
But evidently he didn't think he had to. So they've got the truck out there somewhere in Carolina. Nobody knows exactly where it is.
Mark,
God knows
if you're
where.
watching this, I don't know what you are doing, bud.
So
Rod shaking his head.
it's going to
shaking
be
his head.
interesting. I mean, somebody, they're going to.
Yeah.
Down the road somewhere, somebody's going to have to make an answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's.
Oh yeah. You can count on it.
We could really have some fun with this.
Oh, Lord. Really?
Call both of them and put them on the phone at the
You
same
really want to
can't-
start a
you can't
fight,
do-
don't you?
I don't know if you want to do that or not.
I'm with him on this one. Are you
There's a restraining order between the two of them.
and there's a line.
There's
There's a line that you just don't cross. I know that you're bold and you will cross it anyway. All right, Roger,
Oh well, I mean, you can call him.
you handle this, man.
You can call him if you want to. He might be in jail, but I'm.
I'm not sure if he'll pick up because he is in jail. But you would be one to try to do that.
The thing about that, the whole thing about
God.
that to me was
You're a mess, Roger. You are
the
a
lack
mess.
of common sense involved with all of it is really astounding to me because, like you say, there was a judicial agreement put in place. Let it play out. Be done with it.
Yep.
Because guess what? If you don't, this is what's going to happen.
And
I can't remember which race it was. She went to the race, and she didn't even have she got the truck there to the race.
Right.
But then when they got there, they didn't have equipment. So all she was
it
trying to do was
Martinsville?
It was Martinsville.
Yeah.
no. This was after. It was a big track.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was the next race after Marksville.
Maybe
Wasn't
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
So she went out
Charlotte.
to make a qualifying run, and she got up to the line and couldn't make the run because the truck wasn't running right.
Right.
So they took it off the line and made her.
Right.
She didn't make the race.
Oh, remember when she did that in? Oh my God, what was it a couple of years earlier?
Well, she pulled off in part because she didn't want to do she quit because she didn't want to do a start and park.
Yeah, they wanted to do a start and park, and she left the car on pit road.
Right.
And the officials were trying to figure out what to do because they didn't have a driver for the truck or car. I forget.
Right.
It was a truck, wasn't it?
Yeah, there are some common sense issues involved.
Isn't there always, no matter what
There's
the
some kind of
situation
issue
is,
involved.
there's always some kind of common sense issue or an issue of some type with anything.
But with her, something is going on there because everything. I mean, she don't get along with nobody. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, I think.
I will
He
tell
said
you
it.
more
He
after the
said
show.
it.
Well, I'm not.
Some things are meant for off air.
We know.
But she's had her, and it was really funny because she pulled to the end of pit road, and Mike Harmon pulled right up beside her.
He did.
And NASCAR put two officials between them. I mean, when does NASCAR become police over what's going on?
Hold it. They are police.
Really?
Look at Lee.
Yeah.
They policed his butt.
But the thing about it is, and then they go back in the garage, and somewhere along the line, a charge was placed against her.
Oh my.
And she was arrested in the garage.
Oh, really?
In the truck.
I did not know that.
I didn't.
She was arrested and taken to jail or taken wherever.
Oh gosh, probably.
And then Mike Harmon got more charges against him this week, and he turned himself in yesterday.
Hey.
When all they had to do was just let it work itself out.
Let it finish up what it was supposed to be done, and
then leave it be.
And I think it was supposed to have been through the end of this year, and then it would have reverted back to Novak.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be.
But I guess he wanted Mike Harmon to, instead of pulling it.
Yeah, that'll be the question. Did he tell Mike, "Oh, yeah, it's okay to go get it"?
We're going to find out.
Yeah,
we will soon, won't we?
Continue next week for the latest developments.
I'll assure you, the prosecutor will find that out.
Yeah, somebody is.
Somebody's going to find that out because guess what, Mike
and then
Harmon.
It's going to be out there.
Whatever Mike Harmon's got to do now to protect Mike Harmon, Mike Harmon's going to do that.
Yeah.
You can count it, and I don't blame him one bit.
Well, he says he's not done anything but what the other guy
asked him to do
has done. Has led him to do as far as what he thought was right.
So that's what I said. Maybe Novak said, "Oh yeah, it's okay to go get it." So
well,
we don't know.
It's
all right. Let's bring this thing to a close.
Yeah, wrap it up. I think Rod is hungry.
I'm thinking crab cakes.
Huh?
What? I'm sorry. Oh, that's Al. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Al. Al.
All right.
I miss my buddy.
We will see everybody next week.
Yes, we will.
On Let's Talk Racing.
Mm-hmm.
Brought to you by PC Doctors, the Auction Hotspot, and the Stroke Spot Foundation.
Yay.
Go team. Go check them out on the internet, please.
Please check them out. Please.
See ya. Sorry, I hit that one. I gotta do the other thingy.
What thingy? That thingy?
This thingy.
That thingy.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Terri Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV